Life is the will to power, our natural desire to dominate and reshape the world to fit our own preferences and assert our personal strength to the fullest degree. Friedrich Nietzsche. Are you truly in control of your life, or are you letting the world control you? Strength isn't just about muscles or toughness, it's about how you face life's challenges. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche believed that true strength lies in your mind, in your will to rise above fear, doubt, and mediocrity. The question is, are you shaping your destiny, or are you trapped in a cycle of excuses, letting life just happen to you? In his philosophy, Nietzsche talked about the concept called the will to power. This is the drive inside of us that pushes us to survive, do our best, and keep improving. It's about always trying to get better and being true to yourself. It's about overcoming your own challenges and fears. Nietzsche also talked about weakness. He said that weakness is the opposite of strength. Weakness is when people avoid challenges, stay in their comfort zones, and don't try to improve. He didn't like weakness because it stops people from becoming their best selves. In his book, Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche explained two ways of thinking: master morality and slave morality. Master morality is the way strong people think. They believe in always trying to get better and becoming the best version of themselves. They don't just accept their problems, they face them and find ways to change their lives for the better. Slave morality is the way weak people think. They feel stuck, and instead of trying to change, they blame their problems on others or on bad luck. Nietzsche called them slaves because they don't have the strength to take control of their own lives. So here's a question for you. Are you the master of your own life, or do you let outside influences control you? Do you feel stuck, or do you want to change and get better? In this video, we're going to talk about Nietzsche's ideas about strength, weakness, and the difference between master and slave thinking. We'll give you some ideas on how you can change and become the master of your own life. Let's get started. Number 1. Individuality versus conformity. The first difference we can notice between master and slave morality is their willingness and motivation for change and creation. Masters are driven by an inner compass, defining their values from within. These individuals create their values based on strength and power, and thus assert their individuality. Masters determine what's good based on their qualities and achievements, embracing life with confidence and vigor. They see themselves as the creators of their own destiny, taking full responsibility for their choices and outcomes. Nietzsche describes this as a proactive stance, because masters do not seek validation from others, but instead affirm their existence and values through their actions and decisions. We all know someone who embodies this master morality. Picture a leader who builds something new, a business, a movement, or even an idea. They're unafraid to take risks and create from scratch, not waiting for approval or reacting to others. Instead, they shape their world according to their tastes, needs, and values. In contrast, slaves don't question their societal norms or rules. They internalize them and follow them without deviation. Their conformity helps them fit into the group, but it suppresses their individuality. The herd mentality keeps them from standing out or challenging norms, making them believe that following the crowd is always the right thing to do. Nietzsche saw this herd mentality as a sign of decline in culture and spirit. It trades greatness for the comfort and safety of the majority. By choosing to fit in and avoid standing out, people suppress their individuality and miss the chance to achieve true greatness. And in turn, this reduces the individual's capacity for growth and creativity. The slave doesn't only accept societal norms, but also finds comfort in doing so. For Nietzsche, this passive acceptance of norms, avoiding challenges and sticking to what's easy, leads people to lose the chance to grow, be creative, and become greater versions of themselves. This is the key difference. Master morality is about self-assertion and transformation, while slave morality is about passivity and submission. If you aim to transform your life, strive to embody the master morality Nietzsche describes. Start by identifying your personal values, beliefs, and goals. Detach yourself from societal norms and expectations. Reject external impositions and cultivate your original values. For example, society might tell you to become a doctor or lawyer because it's seen as a good job. But if you love art, maybe your goal should be to become an artist. By clarifying what you value and aspire to be, you'll have a clear direction for your life. And this clarity is crucial for progress. Writing down your values and goals is a significant step towards mastering your life. So instead of blindly accepting societal values, define your own and become the master of your destiny. Number 2. Self-overcoming versus passive conformity. One way masters assert their individuality is through self-overcoming. In fact, some might even say that this distinction is the most crucial one because it separates the two moralities most accurately. When we think of a master, what initially comes to mind is someone completely in control of their life. A master is someone who doesn't let external factors influence their decisions and their way of life. They're also someone who has the ability to change and even completely transform their life around themselves. That's why when Nietzsche talks about master morality, he emphasizes the ability for transformation and self-overcoming. Master morality encourages individuals to strive to overcome their limitations and thus assert their own values. This process involves actively challenging yourself, embracing personal growth, and pursuing excellence without reliance on external validation. They are the ones who create their own values because, for masters, morality is internal. It originates from their will and vision, not from external rules or societal norms. Nietzsche gives the best description of the self-overcoming process in his book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. The self-overcoming process has 3 stages of transformation. The first stage is how the spirit becomes a camel. The second stage is how the camel becomes a lion. And finally, the third stage is how the lion becomes a child. Let's separate these 3 stages and give an example so that we can understand what they are. Let's examine the artist. In the first phase, the artist is like a camel, carrying a heavy load of learning. They spend years studying the techniques of great artists and mastering the fundamentals such as color theory, perspective, and the history of art. This stage is tough and can feel overwhelming, much like a camel trudging through the desert, but it's a necessary burden. Without it, the artist can't move forward to the next stage of their journey. In the second phase, the artist has to become like a lion, standing strong and asserting their own identity. This is when they start breaking free from traditional methods and creating art that reflects their individuality. For example, they might move away from realism and explore abstraction or other unconventional styles. Just like a lion rules its territory, the artist now confidently takes control of their creative path, distinguishing themselves from other artists. In the final phase, the artist becomes like a child, creating something entirely new and unique. At this point, the painter finally reaches a point of pure creativity, where they're no longer burdened by technicalities or the need to rebel against tradition. They create art that is fresh, authentic, and uniquely theirs, something that surprises even themselves. For example, they might invent a completely new art style or technique, such as Jackson Pollock's drip painting. In this phase, just like a child, they create with innocence and playfulness, free from the weight of their past struggles and influences. The process that Nietzsche mentions is the transformation process of the Overman, or Übermensch in German. The Overman is someone who rises above conventional values and limitations, creating their own path in life with strength, self-mastery, and a deep sense of individuality. This master morality rests upon the foundations of mastery over yourself. And this is the main reason why Nietzsche loved the master morality so much. In contrast to the masters, when we think of a slave, what comes to mind is someone with his head looking down, silently accepting the fate of his life. It's almost as if they have a master above them that they must obey and who controls everything that they do. Nietzsche's conception of slave morality is somewhat similar. Slave morality doesn't even have the concept of self-overcoming. Instead of striving to become greater and overcome themselves, slaves conform to external morals, often imposed by the authority in their society or religion. Rather than questioning the norms and rules of how their life is supposed to be, slaves accept them passively, even when they suppress their individuality or potential. Because of that, we can even say that it's not a stance that you would want to adopt, and it's certainly not healthy for your personality. Number 3. Pride versus victimhood. People who have what Nietzsche calls a master morality are proud and confident in their skills. They know what they're good at, and they aren't afraid to show it. But their pride isn't about being boastful or arrogant. It's about respecting themselves and understanding their own potential. Masters focus on their strengths and what they can achieve. Nietzsche thinks this kind of confidence is important because it helps people grow and aim for greatness without being held back by what society expects of them. Imagine an artist who loves their work. They proudly share their art with others and don't let criticism bring them down. They believe in their art and themselves, no matter what anyone else says. On the other hand, people with a slave morality do the opposite. Instead of focusing on what they can do well, they dwell on their problems and hardships. They see themselves as victims in every situation and blame others for their difficulties. They expect others to feel sorry for them and validate their suffering. Nietzsche didn't like slave morality because he believed it kept people stuck in a negative mindset, where they focus too much on their problems and what they've lost instead of moving forward. He felt that this way of thinking kept people stuck and unable to grow. He also disliked religion for promoting this kind of thinking. In our daily lives, we can see this attitude in some people around us. When something bad happens to them, they don't try to fix things or make their situation better. Instead, they just think about their losses or how they've been wronged. Nietzsche believed that having pride and confidence helps people feel strong and take control of their lives, but always thinking of yourself as a victim just keeps you stuck in one place. To embody the qualities of a master, it's essential to move away from the victim mentality. The first step is to take responsibility for your actions and mindset. Reflect on times when you blamed others or external circumstances for your struggles. Write down those instances and identify one thing you can do to regain control in each situation. Shift your mindset from "I can't succeed because of this" to "what can I do to improve despite this?" This change in perspective empowers you to take charge of your life, no matter the challenges. Another crucial aspect is practicing self-discipline. Start by choosing a small, consistent habit that aligns with your goals and stick to it. Completing tasks, even minor ones, boosts your confidence and strengthens your sense of self-resilience, showing you that you have the power to shape your own outcomes. Standing up for yourself is also important. Focus on improving your posture and communication skills, and make a conscious effort to speak clearly and confidently, even if you're uncertain. Learning to say no to things that don't align with your values and priorities helps you protect your energy and maintain your focus on what truly matters. Lastly, being authentic is key to avoiding the victim mindset. Take a moment to reflect on areas where you might be pretending to be someone else or hiding your true self. Being honest about who you are and what you want ensures you're on the right path and not trapped in the role of the victim. By embracing responsibility, self-discipline, confidence, and authenticity, you can step into the power and autonomy of a true master. Number 4. Creative energy versus resentment and justification. One of the key differences between masters and slaves is creativity. Master morality is driven by a creative energy that allows individuals to shape their own futures. They take the initiative, innovate, and leave their mark on the world because their focus is on building something meaningful, not tearing others down. This creative impulse, according to Nietzsche, is not just important for the individual, it's vital for cultural progress and growth of a civilization as a whole. On the other hand, slave morality is rooted in resentment towards those who are strong or successful. Slaves often focus their energy on justifying their position in life or criticizing those who have achieved success, rather than using their energy to create something new. Instead of building, they destroy. This resentment often shows itself through the need to explain away failures, blaming external factors or societal structures instead of taking responsibility or seeking solutions. Nietzsche believed this focus on justification stifles personal growth and potential, creating a cycle of negativity. One example of this is jealousy. Most of us know someone who's constantly jealous or critical. When we look deeper into this behavior, we see exactly what Nietzsche describes. Jealous people often focus on the weaknesses in others, criticizing their work instead of looking for solutions or creating something of their own. It's as if their job is to find flaws, not to contribute anything positive. So instead of criticizing others, Nietzsche suggests focusing on finding solutions to problems. This creative energy can be used to make the world better, just like masters do. Here's how you can start. First, think about problems people face. What struggles are they dealing with? If you can find multiple problems, prioritize them and pick the one that needs attention most urgently. Next, look at how others are trying to solve these problems. Don't mock their efforts, even if they're not perfect. Instead, gather ideas from all the existing solutions and compare them. Look for weaknesses or areas that could be improved. Once you've identified the weak spots, that's where your creative energy should go. Rather than just criticizing or justifying others' failures, put your energy into solving the problem. By doing this, you'll be engaging in the same creative process that masters do. You'll be focused on offering a solution that can make life better for everyone, just like the masters who are driven by their creative energy to make the world a better place. Number 5. Life affirmation versus life denial. One of the most significant differences between master and slave morality lies in how they approach life. Masters affirm life by embracing their desires, ambition, and even its challenges. They welcome every opportunity with open arms, never hesitating to seize it. This is where amor fati, the love of fate, comes into play. Masters not only accept life as it is, but love every part of it, including its flaws and imperfections. They say yes to life, all of life, understanding that every experience, every hardship is an essential part of their journey. To the master, there is no such thing as bad luck or failure. There are only opportunities for growth. Nietzsche's concept of amor fati captures this perfectly. It's the idea of embracing everything that happens, not just the positive, but the struggles, the obstacles, and even the pain. For the master, this perspective fosters creativity and vitality, allowing individuals to thrive by overcoming challenges rather than avoiding them. Take, for example, a professional athlete. Athletes face many hardships, but they don't stop training when it gets tough. They embody amor fati by accepting and even embracing setbacks as necessary for growth. Despite failures, they keep moving forward, seeing each one as a stepping stone to success. They embody the idea that failure isn't something to be feared, but something to be welcomed. By contrast, slave morality rejects life's challenges, viewing them as unfair or impossible to overcome. This mindset promotes a worldview that sees suffering as inherently negative and seeks to escape it through moralizing weakness. The concept of amor fati is alien to the person who lives by slave morality, as they don't see suffering as part of the natural rhythm of life. Instead, they might view their suffering as a form of punishment or a test they must endure. In this mindset, suffering is often romanticized as a virtue. People with a slave morality might believe that their suffering makes them unique or morally superior, but often they do little to actually address the issues causing their pain. They might think that their struggles will be rewarded later in some divine afterlife, and thus avoid taking steps to improve things in the present. For example, they might hold on to beliefs like, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth," or "Rejoice in your suffering, for it leads to righteousness." While these beliefs can offer comfort and hope, they also encourage passive acceptance, preventing any action. Nietzsche critiques this perspective because it denies individuals their potential, encouraging them to see themselves as victims rather than agents of change. But the master, through amor fati, doesn't see obstacles as enemies to be avoided, but as opportunities for growth. The athlete, understanding that failure is part of the process, doesn't fear it. They know that hardship is necessary for mastery. So if you want to become a master like the athlete, you need to start embracing your struggles too. Create a detailed plan for overcoming your challenges, big or small. Whether the challenge is personal or professional, don't focus on the obstacle itself. Focus on the solution and break down the steps to take action. By embracing amor fati, you'll see each challenge not as something to be feared, but as a chance to grow, improve, and get closer to your goal. Greatness comes not from avoiding failure, but from learning to love the entire journey. The ups, the downs, and everything in between. By creating a plan and taking consistent steps, you can overcome any challenge in front of you, turning even your hardships into sources of strength. This is the essence of amor fati and the spirit of master morality. To love your fate, and in doing so, become the creator of your own destiny. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out our full Philosophies for Life playlist, and for more videos to help you find success and happiness using beautiful philosophical wisdom, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.